This is the Gist with Issa and Grace on Afro Vibes Radio. And today we have the beautiful Lulu.
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, we do that. The beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Talented.
Fine.
Lovely.
Scrumptious.
Lulu and Lala.
Thank you. What an intro. I know. Thank you guys. You guys are beautiful.
So are you guys. We need to like master the lighting because you guys seriously are just
Is
so
it a
pretty.
ring light?
It's a ring light.
You guys even talk at the same time.
That's gonna happen a lot. We're gonna talk at the same time, or we're gonna mimic each other.
Oh my God. You guys are so cute. And then you guys are a radio host just like us. This is awesome.
Yes,
Radio
We should try talking at the same time.
We should, yeah, because we look like twins, right, Grace? Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That
Come
no,
in.
it did not go. I tried it like, yeah, no. It's not the same.
We are getting there. So I want to know, how did you guys even like get started? I know like you guys are based in Miami, or are you based in New York?
We are based. Go ahead. We are based in New York, but we do have a show in Miami, so we travel back and forth.
So how did you guys even get started as radio hosts?
It all happened by mistake. If we're gonna be honest, we're not gonna lie.
That's right, man. Let them know.
Being at the right place at the right time, because we always, when we were in college, we wanted to do TV, and so we went for TV and radio broadcasting just to get the whole feel of the business.
Got you.
What school?
While we were interning for Univision TV, there was this show that was just after our internship was done. Univision said, "Hey, there's this show, this reality show that's like America's Top Model, but it's
you guys thought you little models.
Yes.
Okay, girl.
Spanish model.
Before that, though, we were interning also at TUN, which was the competition for MTV which is the college one.
Yeah.
And so we would do press junkets here and there and get to interview stars. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just winging all of it.
Oh my God.
And so when Univision said, "Hey, try out for this reality show," we were so like, no, our Spanish wasn't even great. So we were like, we had gained the college weight that everyone gained.
Right. Freshman 15. Look, we're getting there.
Oh, yeah, got it.
I don't want to talk anymore.
No, let me tell you something. That freshman 15 is no joke. Like, I had so much, like, I feel like I was getting big, and then after I left, I was just like,
it's a quarantine
where my booty
15.
go? Yeah.
Gaining weight ain't no joke. I mean, it's not no joke.
So we did the reality show, and lo and behold, we were chosen to go fly down to Florida and compete in the competition.
Yeah. Okay, I got
So
food
it
out.
only lasted about a week, and then eliminated immediately. But I guess the network really liked the chemistry that we had, so they hired us separately so that then we could report for the show that we had just gotten kicked out. So we started working with Gorky Plaza, which is like a e-entertainment in the Latin market.
Got you.
From there, we were traveling from Miami, Chicago, Houston.
Wow. Hey.
Meanwhile, we have no idea what we're doing. We are learning as you go.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to learn,
Right.
Like, you're in there and you just gotta fend for yourself.
Right.
So then after about a month, no, it was like 2 months.
So you guys are out of sync, so get your shit together.
It was all of 2007, and then it ended, and they were like, "There's nothing else that we can offer you. That's it. You could go into radio, but you got to start from the bottom and just do promotion." So we went from like traveling to different cities, given internationally and nationally known. We were given everything to then now having to give flyers at street corners, getting paid $6 an hour, and we're like, well, we don't care. We know that we want to go back to what we were doing.
Right.
This is what we want to do. So that's pretty
much
it.
So you had everything, and then you had nothing, but you were still
it was taken away from you. But you guys had that exposure, right? You guys saw what you wanted, and you're like, okay, I know.
Me. You know me. You see me putting out these flyers, but you know me.
I cannot do it.
Wow. You had to have guts, and you had to be good, because it is a dog business. It's male dominated.
Yeah.
Just keep hustling. Yeah. We were with Univision Radio for about 7 years, so we worked our way up from promotions and like waking up every morning trying to help us with the show, shoveling snow. Anything that you could think of, we did. Okay, so you
have a question.
remember the movie The Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah.
Well, we used to call it The Devil Wears Headphones. Because
Wow.
Oh my
apartments and
Oh
taking
my
care of
God.
kids, and I'm like, how is this
Oh
radio?
my God,
I
right.
don't understand. And so when our radio career at Univision ended, we were sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that same day that we were let go, pretty much, CBS
Wow.
Radio, General Market called saying, hey, you guys want to come over and do morning shows here as co-hosts?
Wow.
It was just luck on our side because
Yeah.
that did not happen. Everybody in radio knows that you don't get that lucky.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And then,
you get another job like that, that was
mm-hmm.
insane. Yeah. So with CBS Radio, we were there for about 2 years, and we did mornings, and we learned a lot because we grew up very old school, so our parents were very like strict. So we would center ourselves a lot in that morning show, and it would frustrate the morning host. And at the time, we didn't realize that we thought he was being a dick. But looking back now, I'm like, no, we were wrong. We should have broken out of it. We weren't being relatable, which is
Yeah.
we want to be relatable.
Yeah, and that's a good point because for even us, like both our dads are pastors, and so like we want to make sure that our platform is relatable to, you know, it can be heard for a family, right? So the father, the child, the mother, the auntie, everyone can like listen and feel comfortable. But we also want to make sure that it's interesting and like, you know, people want to tune in every week.
Said,
It's a problem because there were times that like I didn't want to talk about my relationships or I didn't want to say certain things because I'm like, I'm going to upset my parents.
Right.
There were topics about like, you know, have sleeping sex and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Are they listening?
Oh my
God. Sorry, Mom.
So it was a learning experience. You know, you look back and you're like, okay, I could have done this wrong, or I could have.
So you guys are saying that you would have talked about sex and all these other kind of crazier topics back then?
There's ways to talk about things without getting so graphic or vulgar, you know? And so we were so scared. Or even just the fact of saying it, hey, oh my God, I feel uncomfortable. What is my mom gonna think? I think that would have been more if I would have said that on the radio and been honest. And people would have been able, would have been able to relate more, like, oh my God, my parents are strict too. Oh no.
Like we just did. We're like, we're parents are strict as well.
I think what's interesting now is girls that like really, really talk about like all things about sex and like really get into it, and they're the ones that are popular now.
Yeah.
Because it's like those hidden voices that no one can.
Yeah, because no one has been talking about it, so now it's like
someone
new.
Someone
you know,
like to relate to.
Right. I mean, because everyone goes through. Everyone has sex. Everyone has breakups. Everyone goes through different things. Oh my God.
And the birds and bees come together.
What's sex?
I'm a virgin.
yeah.
But like, I feel like it's true. You know, everyone wants to know, and it's something that like no one likes to admit they don't know anything about. You know, everyone wants to know it, but they don't want to know too much, but they don't want to be a novice. No one wants to be like that virgin that doesn't know anything. So it's good to talk about it.
I hate how like The Bachelor now like focuses. Like if you're a virgin, they're like, that's the virgin. And it's like I don't know if it was The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, and they were.
But shows in general, they do that.
But it was focused mostly on sex, like.
Huh?
No, they're focusing on the fact that one of the girls is a virgin, and it's like it shouldn't matter so much as to like call her out and be like she's the virgin.
It's like, oh my God, she's an alien, and it's a personal decision. She is.
What does she eat? Like,
but what do you guys think about like sex being so important? Like, for example, like who you sleep with, if you're gay, if you're lesbian, if you don't have sex, if you're asexual, you know. So like, what do you guys think as far as your sexuality being like almost an identification of you these days?
So I think that I'm a 90s baby. I grew up in like 90s sitcoms. I do feel like nowadays everything is about sex. Everything is like practically porn on television.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Everything's
like that TV show, like that movie.
And it makes me feel old too. I'm like, what?
But what do you guys think about that? Like, is that a good thing with our culture? Is that just the reality?
I think it's a personal decision. If you want to be out there and say how sexual you are, that's great, fine. If that's what makes you happy, and if you're comfortable with, cool.
Right.
But If you're not, that's cool too.
Well, I just wanted to fix my shirt. Sorry, guys.
There are some people that are very sexual, very into themselves, sexually aware of themselves, and that's a beautiful thing too.
Right.
More reserved, and that's okay. I think it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Right.
Balance to me is the key word here. Balance it out. Don't go all the way to the having almost your nipples out. And don't turtleneck all the time either. Like there's a nice balance.
So you're good. You're good.
Okay.
No, because if y'all
I like her better. Just kidding.
These people, look, we're twins, right? We have the same DNA running through our veins. Mm-hmm. She's always been a little bit more open. Mm-hmm. Like I'm more I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm young. Mm-hmm. When I'm old, I'm not gonna be showing that wrinkly skin.
Oh my God.
There's a time for everything, and I'm young. And I want to, I'm not too out there, but I'm not, turtleneck. Yeah.
Right.
I'm a little bit more
like conservative. Yeah.
So you're the sweet one, and she's the bad one. It's like a good and bad one.
Yeah,
I'm like the chill one, and then you're the out there one.
I'm the out there one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I see.
Purple. That's my favorite color.
Hey, thanks. See, we vibing.
I'm vibing with her. I'm vibing with boobs out. That's.
So just to really quick sum up, after CBS Radio, we were let go from there.
Yes, thank you for bringing us back on track.
And then after we flew down to Miami because they offered us our own show.
Okay.
Wow.
Which we fought with the executives because we didn't even want our own show.
So they want you to have a show, but you didn't want a show?
No, we were supposed to co-host with DJ Laz in
Miami.
So we had always been co-hosts. So we were always led, not actually leading our own show. So
wow. And you want to fight.
They're setting us up for failure. Like, that's not
that kind of happened to me, though.
Our PD was like, no, you guys deserve your own show. Whatever mistakes, do them here in Florida. And then if you ever go back to New York, at least you'll be seasoned because New York.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
they had faith in you. They had faith in you guys.
We don't have faith in ourselves. Yeah. And let me tell you, we're sisters. We live together. We've always worked together. But having our own show was cat fight. Huge all the time.
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
Over what? Like the guests?
Because we had to learn how to trust one another. She was on the boards, I was on the opposite end. So many times I felt she was shutting me up, and I'm very I have a lot to say.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I have to keep time. There's a time. She was rambling on for days.
Oh my gosh.
And so I had to cut her.
Yeah, quick break.
Potatoes, and then sugarcoat it if we have time. If not, then we got to get into commercials.
Right.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Right.
So it was that she thought I was trying to boss her around.
Yeah, and control her.
Yeah.
And so it was a learning process.
Yeah.
It was more than just being sisters. It was actually being co-workers.
Co-workers.
So I was on you guys' IG yesterday. Who was annoying who? There was that video that was you were annoying her. There was this video. I don't know if you guys saw it. Yeah. And she was just annoying the shit out of this girl. I was like, why? Yeah. And then she's like, don't post it. And then obviously it's posted.
Because you know what? Everyone has those days.
Yeah.
We're not happy people. But we do have our days where we're in a badass attitude or fighting with your boyfriend or you had a fight or you're just on your period or you're just in the mood. And that's okay.
Right.
Yeah. 24/7, happy.
Exactly.
Right.
So, I was trying to make her laugh. I'm like, come on, ha, ha, ha. And she said no. And then the more she kept getting mad, the more I kept laughing. And then I finally posted it. And she almost whacked me. But we got over it quick.
Yeah.
She does the same thing to me, though. That's what
she's like, nah, it's not the same.
So we are gonna take a quick break. After the break, we are gonna be talking more about what you guys are doing, and we want to know more about your dating lives. Since we don't really have one, we want to know more about y'all's dating lives.
We're gonna live through y'all.
We will take a quick break. This is The Gist with Issa and Grace.
This is Afro Vibes Radio Houston.
Back, guys. This is the Gist with Issa and Grace
Hey, what dancing?
on Afro Vibes Radio.
Dance.
And Lulu and Lala are just, there's no music. What are you guys dancing to?
We're vibing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna join in. Are we done now? Am I the party pooper? I am so sorry. No, but I just want to kind of get into it. So
Yeah,
who's dating who? Like what do you guys do?
I am dating.
Okay.
Wow.
Growing up, she was always the one with a boyfriend, and I was always the single one.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm the one reverse. Yeah. So I have a
Wow.
boyfriend. It's long distance. He lives in Miami.
Oh my God.
Wow.
How is
Blew
that?
up.
So
Yeah.
first things first, how'd you meet him?
Yeah. He's a backup singer. He's a musician. He's a singer.
Oh,
And then
wow.
he's on tour. He's been on tour with Luis Fonsi, the dude that sings Despacito.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
at the iHeart. So we work for iHeart
Fiesta
Radio
Latina,
now.
yeah.
We were down in Miami covering the
shoot.
Fiesta Latina concert. And then he was back. We were doing backstage interviews, and then he was just wandering around because he was waiting to go up on stage to sing.
Girl, he wasn't wandering around.
So he asked for a picture, and I'm like, okay, sure, let's take a picture. By the way, as soon as I saw like their interaction, I'm like, that's it, done. So
Exactly.
Wow,
You
she
already
called
know.
it.
down on like the DM because I guess he found us, he tagged us, he put the picture up on his IG.
Oh yeah.
And then we kind of just started, chatting through there. But then it's funny,
You got a plan.
I live here. I don't want to. I had done long distance before. I'm like,
Yeah.
he has said the same thing. Like, no, we're just friends. That's it. So then we always just kept chatting, and every time I visit Miami, we would just always hang out.
Aww.
And we just really took our time.
Right.
And now we're together.
I'm the opposite.
That's so cute.
I am single and happy. with
Yes. Yes.
I like her now.
Absolutely.
Little.
On.
That is so funny. Well, have you guys ever been dating other people and then they mistake you? Like they're like, oh no, that's Lulu, not Lala. Sorry.
I had a boyfriend for about 13 years, and he only confused us once. We were in twice.
Ooh.
Yeah. One of them that I remember was we were in a pool, and I guess he thought it was her, and he grabbed me, and I'm like kicking, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
And then he popped up and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were your sister.
Oh my God.
Then at CVS, like he went to like grab her from behind thinking it was me. And I'm like, that was
So it's always been like grabbing boobs. It's never been like, oh hey, like from afar.
from behind that they get confused. It's weird. I don't know.
That- But you're no longer with him anyway, so he's over.
No, then I've only had 2 boyfriends because this one was so long.
Yeah.
My recent ex, it's just, the business, now that we're getting into dating, dating in the business is very hard. You have to
I
Yeah.
bet.
be very
Confident.
secure and confident because we are surrounded by men
Mhm.
all
Yes.
the time.
And we
Mhm.
travel a lot too, so
Yeah. So
And that's another thing. It's like you're probably going to have a long distance relationship, probably. Thank you, Grace, for that.
Yeah.
and then they,
What were you? She was sorry. Go ahead, girl.
for some reason they think that we're like popping bottles with like all these artists.
Right.
That's not the case.
That's okay. That's a big thing because I know like now that like growing social media and stuff, I got like 12K, which is a lot, but it's not a lot.
That's
But
so
now
good.
like I'm on dating apps and they'll see that and they'll be like, oh my God, you're a celebrity, you're popular. I'm like, boy, if you don't
Oh
get
my
your
God. They have the assumption that you're just getting hit up and like guys are throwing themselves at you and you're cheating and it's just like, what?
Most of the time, like if we do like album release parties or we have an event or a concert that we have to work, it's work for us. It may be fun for the person that goes to actually see the concert for fun. For us, it's work though.
Right.
If I invite you, like let's say I had a man now and I invite him, I'm not gonna be babysitting you.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And that's another thing. It's like, why can't I come along? And it's like, well, because we're doing something. So, I mean, unless you want to stand there and watch,
while I do my interview,
or you go away. I mean, I understand why you don't want to bring them, but then they don't get it. They just think that you're hiding something.
Or if you do bring them, you're ignoring me. No,
Yeah.
we're working. So if you want to come, this is what it's gonna be. You
Right.
Yeah.
stand there and make the best out of it. If you happen to have all access, go off and go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when you both are dating, both your guys can come and they can both just hang out together.
Yeah.
They can
trip.
bros trip.
I don't know what the men do.
So wait, so you guys are in New York. How's COVID over there? Has it been crazy?
Actually, right, it was crazy. I mean, we were the epicenter of
Right.
coronavirus, but now it's completely the opposite. Like, we're just starting phase 2 on Monday.
Wow.
So,
So
cheers.
releasing more people out.
Yes.
It was scary. Like, when it was at the height of COVID-19 here, like, you did not, in New York, when you have to use subways and stuff, you don't want to touch anything.
Yeah.
And even just
Yeah.
walking outside, you don't know if someone just finished sneezing. And
Yeah.
That got some thick air over
Oh my
there.
God. And then, someone told me yesterday, they were like, oh, because I was talking about the mask. Everyone has to wear masks. And they were like, well, have you ever been in an elevator where someone farted? And I was just like, no. They're like, you still smell it. They're like, it's everywhere. They're like, the mask is not gonna save you, especially because the molecules are way smaller than a fart. So then I thought about that, and every time I think about wearing a mask now, I think of a fart, and I think of like how we're not safe, and I get so scared, and it's just like,
you don't know what to believe anymore.
Right.
People have been like flip-flopping on what they're saying, so it's like, well,
there's no direction, no vaccine in the near future. I mean, this is just a reality.
People wash your hands,
Mm-hmm.
wear the mask, and like
Don't be scared.
Right.
But yeah, I think Florida is now the state that's becoming like the epicenter of.
Oh shit.
And Houston is another one. I mean, they do not care. I was walking. I went to the gas station. No one had anything. I saw people like walking across from a
They were in
venue,
the
coming out.
Too.
No mask, nothing.
There was no social distancing.
Like, kids. I don't have kids, but I'm like, shouldn't they, have a mask on too? Just because they're
right.
They say if you're like three and under that you don't have to wear a mask or something like.
Why does that? Why? I always think they have like lower immune systems. Like wouldn't
no, they
at
have
3
stronger immune systems.
They do 3 years old. Do you say 3 years old?
Kids compared to adults have stronger immune systems.
Oh, like elderly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone, I guess, with pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
But
it's just really sad.
I tell you, 2020, I thought it was going to be like 2020.
Dude, I was like, 2020 is my year. 2020, I'm here for it. And I was just like, dude, I was gonna start my nonprofit, which I still did. And like, I had my nonprofit, the Mental Health Hub is the nonprofit I own. And so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the radio thing. We're gonna like so many things. And
it's been like a nice bump on the road. Like,
oh my God. It's been so crazy.
Like, I wanted to go see the world and stuff, and in the backyard, and that's it.
How has traveling been for you guys, even though just going from New York and Miami? Like, has it been kind of crazy?
Well, we haven't traveled. We live in the state of Jersey, but like we're literally 15 minutes away from the state. And so, from the city, we haven't been to New York. We haven't been we've been doing our show from our house.
Wow, just like everyone else.
I did go to Miami like 3 weeks ago.
Ooh,
to see your boo. Girl, he should be coming to you. Why are you going to him?
He was, but we were the epicenter, so it was safer for me to.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. I'll allow.
If he ain't ready to risk it all. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
And I looked like an astronaut on the plane. I had like the face covering. I had the plastic.
Oh my God.
I had like my hair in a ponytail.
Jeez.
I learned though from COVID. Here I am, like now interviewing you guys. What have you learned from
typical radio host? Yeah. Go ahead, girl. Do what you know. Do what you.
I think back and in hindsight, I'm like, I got to appreciate things.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The store and buying water and toilet paper.
Right.
And just being able to hug my nieces.
Right. No, I think that's one thing I think that this has taught us is just appreciating life, and being able to like, and that's another thing, slowing down, especially because I was born in England, and so England and just Europe in general is way slower with like how the pace of life I felt. So America was just go, 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 and I felt like we were able to just take a pause, take a second, enjoy people, listen to the news. That's why, Black Lives Matter is becoming so big. And I'm going to ask you guys about that, being minorities. But just like, being able to just enjoy your life and sit back. But then it made you realize like, wow, I was able to go to the store and not have to wear a mask, have gloves, do this, do that, and just, be so conscious about hygiene. And then it's another thing. It's like, it's made companies be more hygienic. Like the subway system cleaning, the first cleaning in like its history, 150 years, I was surprised. It's like, why is it taking a global pandemic
the color
to
of
clean?
that water? That subway water.
That I feel like I've appreciated more. Not that I wasn't appreciative before, but like you said, everything, especially in New York, everyone's always in a hurry to get something.
Right.
So it was nice to kind of just slow down.
Right.
We even took we slowed down on social media as well. We were always, and it was like life isn't all about social media. It's just on a phone and it can go away like that. And then you focus everything on social media, you lose out on really what's in front of you.
Yeah, what's really important.
You gotta have plan B. You know, there's a lot of people making a living off of social media.
Right.
Yeah, that's key.
So,
like bloggers and YouTubers and stuff like that.
Into perspective.
Right. And before we go, I do want to ask you guys, you know, you guys being minorities, you guys being women and Latina, like how has it been for you, even not just in your radio careers, but just in life? Like, you know, how has that been for you guys? What's your story there?
Well, we definitely have been discriminated against, first in being women in this business.
Right.
And then also being, you know, Latina and brown. It's like,
hey, Latina.
It's good to see that all this is happening because finally people are actually like their eyes are open to the reality of what most of us have been going through for a long time.
Like we're not crazy. This has actually been happening.
The march about 2 weeks ago here in New Jersey. It was actually right by our house, and it was such a great experience. I'm so happy that I was able to be there and like we got to know so many people, and the energy was right, and it was perfect. And I'm so happy that this is actually finally, you know,
happening.
Yes.
I guess we've always been like hustles. Like, my dad came from El Salvador. He had to cross 3 borders to get to the United States. My mom came from Cuba, and it was hell over there. You know, the communism is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't have anything. So being in the United States, there is a lot of opportunities out there. The opportunity is here. You have to work for it. Some have it easier. Some have it harder. It's what you do. Everyone's dealt cards. You gotta just, you know. But there has been. I'm glad that all of this is happening now. Because to see, like, it's not all rainbows and butterflies for some people, and that's their reality. They don't know because maybe they've never been through it. It's never happened to them. They have that luxury. You know, it's funny. We lived in the tri-state our whole lives. You know, we lived in Bergen, New Jersey, and it was very diverse. When we first moved into the town, there was a little bit more white people than anything else. Everything was cool. Then the Hispanics started to come, and now we have a mix of everything. There's black, Asian. It's nice. Like, our block where we live is popping. It's popping. We've got we have everything. Yeah, we have, like, it's so much fun. And so when we moved to the South, it was to Florida. An eye-opener because things, what I was used to, you know, people getting along and everything cool, that's not what I experienced driving down to the South and some parts of Florida where I'm like, wait a second, the South never rose. Like, up with the South.
Yeah.
Women's Macy's.
Stuck in the past.
You could tell the difference between how a black person is treated, a Hispanic is treated, and a white person. And I'm not saying this is the case everywhere.
Right.
But there was, for me at least, it was kind of like a shock where I was like, wow, I was living in a bubble. Never experienced that kind of, it's funny because there's a mall that there's a Macy's men on one opposite end of the mall, and the other Macy's women is like, I'm like, why? Like, men is like, there's that separation. We're like, okay. But I think now the most important thing that we need to do, that I feel like everyone has lost, is respect. We need to respect one another. We need to respect our differences, you know, like, and educate. Yeah, it's so easy to see something and then not do your research on it and like all this.
Oh my gosh, on so many things.
You're gonna have to agree to disagree. People are not going to understand because it's not in their capability to.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, like, we're twins and we're gonna argue all the time and we're gonna say, fine, let's agree to disagree. But the respect of everyone's differences, like, we should be embracing everyone's differences and not tearing each other down. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love them. They passed. Yes, we love you guys.
That's what.
I thought we had a grading. You were supposed to play along, Grace. We're working on it. It's okay. But no, we really, really appreciate you guys just taking the time. I mean, I reached out to them and within like a day, they were just like, yeah, we'll do it. You know, an interview, it's awesome. They said it was just so easy. You know, some people are just so hard to get a hold of and it's just so annoying.
We appreciate you reaching out because we know what it's like when you kind of want to do an interview and they say, oh, we don't have time for you. Or they don't answer at all.
Right.
We've been there. So that's why we always try our best to try to answer everyone back. And you guys are women doing your things.
Girl, we try. We be trying. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. This has been an awesome interview. Thank you so much. And then if you can, check us out on Afro Vibes Radio. So it's a free app. It downloads African and Caribbean music 24/7.
Yeah.
Great music.
I want to ask them about reggaeton.
We should.
What's your ethnicities? Like, what's
so
your
I'm Nigerian.
I'm Nigerian.
We're both Nigerian.